course, we're talking about G.I. Joe Retaliation, which I liked. Of course, they're still hyping it on the Cineplex contest thing. It's one of the big movies of the summer. Paul, you know more about G.I. Joe than pretty much anybody in the known existence of man, besides Larry Hama. What is your take on the situation? What do you know about it?
Well, the first thing they said in their press releases was that basically they're going to translate it to 3D because 3D's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, for the amount of money they've sunk in with Super Bowl ads and with the presence out there, and it only being like a month since until release, I didn't really buy it. So, they hum and hawed, and Hasbro stepped on because, you guys don't know much about the G.I. Joe brand these days, but yeah, they've really been messing it up lately. The toys haven't sold very well. They had Renegades on the hub, and the Renegades was actually a pretty good show. It was kind of A-Team-esque, but they dropped it. And I guess the main reason they dropped it is they didn't want too many different continuities going on with the movie coming on. They were really hanging their hat on the new relaunch with The Rock.
Yep.
So they canned Retaliation. It was the number 2 show on their network. Their network's not doing that great either because what's happened is Hasbro's bought into this network, the hub, and so all their free cash is tied up. So they're cash hungry right now.
Yeah.
Side note. Anyways.
And this is Hasbro.
Hasbro and Paramount, right? So apparently they're maintaining it's mostly Paramount's decision. So anyways, they shelved it, and they cited initially it was just due to 3D conversion because apparently 3D is big overseas, which apparently it is. You look at Battleship, the giant flame ball turd. It made enough money overseas. The big flop, that was John Carter. It made $200 million overseas in 3D sales. So.
True.
They got to take that seriously. However, they've been a little more honest in the past week, because I guess it's been 2 weeks, and they said also it was the 3D thing, and it was the fact that it was under a lot of stiff competition, because really the best it could ever hope for would be number 1 for 1 week, because it came out a week before Amazing Spider-Man. But again, really? Like just now you're realizing this?
Exactly. But
now they finally realized that, or released that, test screenings have rated it mediocre to bad.
Ooh, no surprise.
Now, part of it is quite simple. Part of it is it's been rumored for a long time, and they confirmed it. Short of Snake Eyes, none of the original G.I. Joe cast members from the first flick were returning, other than Duke. Storm Shadow, I guess, and Dartan. Now, Duke's only in there for a short time, because the Joes get wiped out pretty quick. And it had been rumored, and they confirmed this week that, Duke was originally slated to be killed. So in the film, this first cut, Duke is killed.
And of course.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, they're going back and making a new movie.
They are, because now they're saying, Mr. Tatum's had such a breakout year with The Vow and the hype that Magic Mike's getting.
And 21 Jump
Street. Yeah. So now they're going to reshoot select parts of the film.
The whole thing? Yeah, the entire thing. Yeah.
Well, if you guys are big enough nerds, you'd know that, way back in the 80s, the G.I. Joe cartoon show, when they did the G.I. Joe movie, Duke died, right? Yeah. But that didn't sell well with Transformers, so when they actually released the Joe movie, they didn't make it to theaters, it only went to TV. At the very end of when he dies, they changed the lines they voiced it over to he's dead to he slipped into a coma. And at the very end, when they beat Cobra, at the very end of the 5-part mini, as they're kind of doing their victory march, Doc's voice goes over the show, and it says, "Good news, everybody, Duke's out of his coma." So that's kind of the joke now. Duke will be in a coma.
Hey, the thing is, from what I was reading, because it's from the link that you sent us, it's that the audience wanted to have more Duke and Roadblock time, because they'd say some stuff and all of a sudden it'd just get about Roadblock's family, and of course that wasn't ever mentioned ever again after the movie, after everything had happened, and that the big problem also was the director, and that the director didn't have the stuff to actually direct a major motion picture. They actually had to bring help in to kind of mentor him, and still it was a big pile of crap.
Well, you can blame Paramount for that, for hiring him in the first place. Because what were his credits before? Step Up 2 and the Justin Bieber movie.
That's right. Kids love Justin Bieber.
Kids love the Bieber.
That's back row in the theater, but you're exactly right. It's just a big pop. And when they said I thought you were joking when you first said it a couple weeks back. They're being pushed back. Because I've never heard a movie done like that. They've hyped it and all of a sudden they just push it right back. It's like I never heard of that before. And there's got to be some kind of stink on the corpse right there. And of course, you're absolutely right. They don't want to have another stinker after the first G.I. Joe that everybody's been panning. So therefore, it just gets to a time where they can't chance it. There's a lot of money on the line, so therefore they have to push it back and do reshoots and all that kind of stuff.
Well, nothing else. It just shows the terrible risk you have when you cast somebody in these kind of pictures where you want to have multi-installments. So now they're stuck with this guy, and he's just not an authoritative type character like Duke. So, I mean, he's a terrible choice for Duke, but now they're stuck with him.
That's right. Unless they want to get him to start dancing.
Ray Park's really awesome, by the way. He's the real... I saw him in Disney. He was pretty cool.
Oh, sweet. You saw a lot of big names there on Star Wars weekend.
All part of the plan, soldier.
Perfect. Perfect. And with that, that's it for our movie segment. Thank you, everybody, and we'll be back right after